Welcome back to Build Well, Women Shaping Health Technology. Today's episode is a little different and honestly, one of our most fun and chaotic yet. We're coming to you live from a kitchen counter in San Francisco where we're attempting something that's been everywhere lately, vibe coding. The idea, can you actually go from a problem to a product in just a few hours using AI? In this episode, we start with real life pain points from financial stress and broken HR training to navigating healthcare and postpartum support and turn them into product ideas in real time. Then we pick one, validate the market, and actually try and build it live using tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and Lovable. What unfolds is part brainstorming session, part product sprint, and part reality check on what it actually takes to build something meaningful, even with AI at your fingertips. We talk about how to evaluate ideas, when to build versus buy, what makes a product actually useful, and why even the fastest tools still can't replace thoughtful product thinking. So whether you're a product manager, a builder, or just curious about how AI is changing the way we create, this is a raw, behind-the-scenes look at building in real time. So let's get into it.
Well, we are doing IRL Build Well, where we are at Christie's kitchen counter. We love it, in the beautiful Mission Bay. We're San Francisco girls now, we're tech pros. And we are going to, we have kind of a fun episode today where we are going to be vibe coding. So we're coming up with soup to nuts, idea to ideally development. Everybody's about vibe coding and saying,
You can make anything now.
You can make anything in a day, in an hour, and make millions.
So 3 hours?
We're going to try. We're going to try this out. So come with us on this journey, and it's going to be really interesting.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be fun. I'm actually excited. One, happy International Women's Day, so that's kind of the impetus of this. Lovable is giving free access to everyone on their platform in order to use the entire suite of their system. There are, I think, a couple limitations around some of the AI pieces, but we're excited to give it a try and celebrate International Women's Day by building something kind of fun. So, where are you at? What are you thinking in terms of broad strokes?
Okay, I have a couple ideas.
All right, let's go. Throw it out. I'm ready.
Okay, 3 of the ideas come from
3! Damn, girl.
From pain points I have in my own life.
These are the best ideas.
So the first is around financial planning or financial management.
Financial health.
And
so
building,
important.
building a tool that, one, provides like guidelines depending on where you're at and where your needs are. And then 2, allows you to practice scenarios of making financial decisions given a set of circumstances, which I think is really interesting.
Is it more about like investing or like where you would put your savings or something like that? Okay.
Yeah. Maybe both.
Yeah, a little of both.
Yeah, why not both?
Do you do a Roth or non-Roth IRA? Like I think those are always hard, especially with your income bracket
when to do that.
and how much to be putting in. Oh,
Yeah.
That's so challenging. I love it.
Okay, I'm gonna write that
Do you use any? Here's our board. We're full whiteboarding. Put it on the board. Financial planning. Do you use any financial tools right now?
I mostly rely on like having a financial advisor or a tax accountant.
Oh, wait, doesn't your like family have one that you've been using for years?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so smart.
But of course, like incentives are very specific, right?
Yeah.
Like that person cares about family, the family estate, and not necessarily me as an individual trying to build wealth. Right?
Do you feel like, how do you feel like your financial literacy is?
Not good.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad, if I'm gonna be honest. I've bought like 10 finance books and I haven't read any of them.
People forget financial health is a huge part of health.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of stressing about finances walking over here because I have to do my taxes, and I was like, oh my god, it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
And it causes like a lot of emotional and mental health burden, and it's like a main pillar in like being well.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too, especially with financial planning, is you never really have to worry about it until it's a problem.
I know,
right? Like it's not forced on you to navigate complex situations until it's upon you, and I feel like that's so bad, right?
It's not a sit and wait. You gotta
know.
So
I kind of like the idea of being able to like, hey, what if this set of circumstances changed? Like, how do I navigate this now? What would be the different outcomes? And I think ChatGPT probably out of the box can give you a little bit of this, but it requires more of the context and scenario driven refinement,
And
right?
it's like, if you haven't read those books,
Yeah.
are you ready to put those scenarios in?
Hey, maybe.
Because I agree. It's like, know that you have a 3-month plan for like a 3-month window of savings, but then after that, it's like, what do you do? And is the 3 months actually legitimate? Especially like, apparently we're going into a recession. Like, is that, should we be thinking about something else? So,
and then also the other thing too is like risk profiles, right? So like, say right now, I have a relatively good cushion, right? So I could go down a path of like high risk planning or investment versus like what would change in a couple years or something like that. Yeah. Second problem, which is interesting because I can kind of see HR tooling going this direction.
Okay.
Is instead of those stagnant HR sexual awareness trainings
that we all do, and we all read, and we don't just click through. Yeah, I'm familiar with those. Don't take them away from me. I like the awkward scenarios being played out.
But I think what could be really interesting is actually applying the same type of like put you in a scenario. How would you react or interact with this?
Having like an avatar experience.
Yeah.
I fucking love that idea. Chrissy,
which like actually tests like how much do you understand like navigating a complex situation like this, or like how to have a conversation like this.
I am like actually truly here for it. So in college, I played. Oh God. I'm not a video gamer. I'm not a video gamer in any capacity, but there was this this like iPad game that was called Superstar, and it was basically it's like those dumb like app games that you basically are. It's like almost like Pokemon, but your goal is to become as famous as possible. And so you went through these scenarios, and it was like what. Like, this is Chad. He wants to sign you, and it's like, what do you say to Chad? A, B, or C? That would, and I like, because I was so stressed, and it's like, there's nothing in your life as a college student, and I was obsessed with this game, and I became very famous in this game. Like, again, it gives the scenarios, and like, you get emotionally
your own adventure.
I have to make my cute avatar. She like had a star earring, and like, come on.
Wait, and then depending on like how you perform and which path you choose, like you pass or you don't pass.
I would get into this,
and then everybody's different here. Yeah, HR. Can you imagine doing that instead of like like some level of you get to create your own character?
Yeah,
right?
You'd want to create your character, and then you'd probably have like you'd have to have different. Hi, Sierra. This is Scott, a little golden retriever. He's so smart.
Character creation.
And then you'd have to have different levels. You'd have to like have challenges in each level, and then like get through the challenge. And then
scenarios.
You'd have to have successes and failures, and like if you fail a level or a challenge,
like scoring.
And then we'd obviously need content. How much do you know about sexual assault training?
Hey, plenty. I take a course every year.
Okay, so what's your third idea?
You know, a lot of my ideas are focused on this this concept of like skill advancement. The last one, which like kind of fits, it's more around the like career woman development.
Okay.
Like practicing having hard conversations around like negotiating a raise or pushing for a promotion and like selling yourself, right?
Yeah, because I would say that that kind of fits a need. I mean, for me right now, I have on Instagram, I'll like favorite or save these different conversations, or like take a screenshot, honestly, and be like, this is the type of language that is effective in this type of behavior scenario. And so, like having that kind of aggregated, I think, is a really interesting idea to be able to do to do that type of training. There's a lot of women professional groups right now, but I don't. And I think there are.
What are the tools? It's mostly like mentorship, right?
It's mentorship and community. Yeah. Not like a type of virtual training or something like that.
Yeah, or like a tool where you can just sign in and like, next week I have to have a conversation about a potential raise. Can I practice? And like
and then also thinking the components of like Glassdoor or Indeed, where it also gives salary requirements, because half of it is like, what is the upper echelon, what is the lower echelon that I should be thinking about? And you have to go to Glassdoor to get that information, think about the location, and then be like,
all of these.
I need to ask for this much. And maybe have personal anecdotes or something like that of, because again, everybody's like, oh, I'm nervous to ask for too much because then they could just say no, and then you have to backtrack. And it is complicated.
Salary research.
Yeah.
Like market research.
Yes.
And then the other is like how to have the conversation.
Yeah, you want how to have convos, like different type of language that is impactful, especially as you become like you go from an IC to more of a manager. I think. And thinking about those, and again, I think Maddie talked about it yesterday. Thinking about like organizational styles and different components, and how to have maybe these types of conversations with the different personality types or something like that. So
I kind of like that.
Yeah, and there could be an AI element associated with it in terms of like, I'm going for this job right now. This is the salary that's marked. This is my experience. This is like my resume. How does it?
Yeah.
How should I go about this or something like that? What kind of discussion should I have? And it could be both for like getting the job, but also
for getting a promotion.
A promotion, having difficult conversations, like saying I can't do something or I don't have the bandwidth. That's like a really hard conversation to have.
I kind of like this bucket of like HR tooling. I feel like it's also just like an industry ripe for change.
It is so,
right?
Like, I agree.
There's just so much that's archaic.
Oh my gosh. Right now they have a lot of cartoons going, and then you do it every year too. And
exactly. So there's like a recurring thing
There's a recurring thing.
Companies have to pay for it.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad.
There's a revenue stream here.
Oh, Christy's a business girl. All right, I'm going to go through some of my ideas really quickly. So one of the things that I do a lot, and especially with like, we have parents that are so frustrating, and as they have more and more doctor's appointments and you're trying to talk to them about health, you're just like, what do you even have? And so I went through this both with my mom as well as with myself and my dad. When you go to the doctor, I write what I need to talk to my PCP about, because again, you only have an appointment once every once every 6 months, once every year, and you've waited 3 months for this appointment, and like everything's riding on this to get like and so and like, you know, you can say like this last time I was talking about anxiety components, I was talking about thyroid issues, I was talking about like skin issues, and I would like, I've done this before where I'm like, this is what I want to talk to my doctor, put in ChatGPT, and it asked, what are the questions I should be asking my doctor? Because again, the first thing is, okay, maybe they're going to prescribe you something. Your first question, I want something to be like, okay, this is what they said. What questions should I ask? Because they rarely talk about the symptoms or the side effects, how long you should see an effect on that medication, and those should be you have to be autonomous here. So I was thinking about a system essentially to allow an individual to be supported in a medical office to be able to know what questions to even ask. Not necessarily to give the information, but to be like, this is the information you need to ask your doctor. Because again, my dad had shoulder replacement surgery, and I was like, when should here are the 10 questions I need you to ask your doctor. When can you start like doing PT? When are you going to start like being able to actually lift or work out? When should we see the pain subside? And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh.
Wait, I love this.
Please, Dad, like ask him these questions. Hey, Dad, what is even the diagnosis? And he was like, I don't know, they're just taking it out.
What do you mean they're taking it out?
I was like, oh my God, Dad, okay. I would say like self-service information, like facilitator, I guess.
Like some like advocacy.
Oh yeah, I like advocacy, patient advocacy. Like easy flow prompts, scenario testing. And then the other one, so last night, I was asking everybody, went out to dinner with our old coworkers, and I was asking everybody, like, what are their health problems like that they're experiencing right now? Two kind of came up. One, Amber was saying like insurance. Like she's like, I don't know what type of insurance to have, like what type of copay, what the deductible is, like any of this information. You know, mom of 2 kids with like what type of insurance does this look like? And I had a moment when I was working at UCSF and in the onboarding, this was like years ago, they onboard at UCSF with like, big cohorts because it's like a large company.
Yep.
And so it's like me as a clinical research coordinator, but then there was like some of the brightest minds, I think, in research today, like PhD, MDs, et cetera. When they started talking about insurance, everybody was like, okay, this is my scenario. Like, what one should I choose? Yeah. Because again, the models are like, you get 3 pillars and then you're like, this is the deductible. This is how much you could pay in a year. Yeah. But then it's really confusing. Like how much, what does a deductible even mean? Like, what are the things in network? And so I think that is like, I don't want to say disruptors, but like some place that there isn't really clear-cut information and it's hard, like you have to self-educate. So
that's interesting. Yeah, so like a component of this patient advocacy would be insurance navigation. Yeah, that's a great one. I have noticed in my most recent round in my current job of selecting insurance is I now, like, based on a set of demographic details that I input into the system, they'll give me, there's like 3 options, right? Yeah. But they'll give me a recommended path. Which is like very helpful because if I'm being honest, I'm just going to select the recommended path, right? Like 100%. I'm not going to go 100 feet deep into understanding why that one is better than the second option. Totally. Right.
But I feel like sometimes you get screwed with the recommended path.
Probably.
Last year I went through, because it's like I'm not a health consumer at a high level. I don't have a chronic disease. It's like, and so I did high deductible HSA.
Oh my God.
And just got
screwed.
Yeah. So anyway, that's this one. And then
I like that.
The third one is like more of a half-baked idea. I was just talking to my sister this morning, and she's talking about going through like using health consumer apps as opposed to primary care, because she lives in Buffalo, and so it's like here in California there are, I think, a lot of really good health systems. I think like Kaiser is a good depiction of that. Yeah. And then there are other, I think UCSF is also a good health organization. Yeah. But where she is, it's like limited. And so she hasn't seen a PCP in over a year, and she can't even find a PCP. So she's thinking about doing like a Dexcom scan out of pocket. She's thinking about doing Function Health, do blood work on her own. Because she's like, I'm never going to see a physician again, I guess. And like, I know Blue Cross Blue Shield and like other systems have like, provider.
They have their version of like a health app.
Exactly.
That's member based. Yeah. I haven't actually used it.
I think they're hard and they're cumbersome, and then it requires you to also like call the doctor. And so this one's like more half-baked from my perspective, but it definitely is a problem of like, she hasn't seen a physician now in over a year, and it's because she cannot find one. And when she does find one, it's like a 6-month out appointment.
Dude, even that problem needs help, right? Like finding a PCP that is like available, can meet my needs given where I am in life. Like even that problem is so hard. Finding a therapist. Like,
oh my God, finding a therapist is impossible. So anyway, like some type of provider search for that is more personalized. If I'm going to be honest, the ones that I am feeling is I like this one and I like this one. That's kind of where I'm at right now. This one feels a little more nebulous to me. Like we'd have to do a little bit more research. This one I feel like has really standard components that even though we might not be subject matter experts in it.
What do you mean?
I know you are. Chrissy's been through a lot of sexual assault training. No, sexual harassment, sorry. Sexual harassment training.
This one I think is harder because we also don't know much about it.
And I think it has an element of data privacy that we might not be ready for, because if people are entering their personal personal financial information.
That's true.
Because that's also, I think, the issue here. It's not like it's PHI. It could be PII. Like, again, like we can create a model and kind of figure that out, but this one is the easiest in terms of we're not collecting health information.
Personal information.
It's a login. It's a
gamification.
So maybe do we want to wait for Alex and ask her? What are you feeling mostly? Where do you want to go?
I like both of those. They have similar product footprints.
Oh.
Right? Like this levels and challenge scenario, you could do similar Like for patient advocacy, the scenario testing here could be more like you're a standard, like healthy 25-year-old person versus like I'm a critical care breast cancer survivor, right? Who's over 80, right? And that is like a higher challenge than like the healthy 25. You know what you know what I'm saying? Like I actually
an element
think
of
you could
gamification.
almost do like a similar footprint.
Okay,
Really
I hear you for sure.
Yeah.
But even just the scenario you gave,
stretch.
this that feels like like a lot, maybe for a 2 or 3 hour session.
Okay, fair.
So I do think maybe we should do this one because I think there are so many scenarios here.
Yeah.
And then we can potentially think about taking items here where this has like an element of standard. Yeah, exactly. All right, so I think we are doing HR tooling. So now that we have our idea, we think it's solid. Now we're going to look into the market. So I think we're able, with Lovable, I think we're able to also use components of Claude. Oh my God. Okay, I'll do ChatGPT. You do Claude.
Okay, I'll do Claude. Are there any? But we have to put in the same prompt.
Okay. Oh my gosh, look at us. Okay, we're going to create a new project. We're going to create
tools.
So I want to go into deep research.
Wait, what is deep research?
There's a deep research component in OpenAI too. The first thing we're doing, now that we have our idea, we have some high level pieces, we're trying to solve a problem, and then we think we have a viable solution for that problem. We are now looking at the market to see what already exists. Christy is using Anthropic, and I am using OpenAI. And our prompt is solely, are there any existing HR products that leverage AI to gamify sexual harassment training? What is that? Again, we're not going like I think we're going to start with sexual harassment training and then we can expand. So we'll start there. Christy really wants to get it out there. So once we understand what is on the market, we'll see if this already exists. Because again, I think the first rule in product is you don't want to build the same thing if it already exists. So this is a big question, I think, in product manager always, do you build it or do you buy it? Especially if it is on the market. You can then adopt them and then make shifts to them from an existing vendor. That can be challenging though, because it does require you to then work with their own engineering departments and get on their roadmap. So sometimes it is better to build internally than to buy, and I don't know. So, okay. ChatGPT gave me its deep research. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
AI-driven gamified sexual harassment training. So, so this training already exists, but it's unevenly distributed across the market. The strongest meets the definition examples are concentrated in immersive simulation vendors.
Meaning like VR?
VR and AI feedback role plays. So 2 commercially marketed products are Body Swaps, which, oh my God, that sounds so scary. Body Swaps offers a sexual harassment module with LLM and scripted role plays and provides personalized feedback.
Huh. Oh my God, these are creepy.
I feel like it has to be cute.
Also, this is like the least hard thing to do. Is make it more like appealing, you know? Like
I think that they like it like this though.
Oh, Alex is here.
Ah, hey girl.
Hi!
Okay, so we are doing a couple of different things. So we were just going through sort of idea generation, and I think we're still in the early stages, so if you want to contribute any ideas as well, like we can go through it. So do you want to go through your ideas?
Yeah. Okay, so I had kind of 2.5. The first one was around financial planning, so like building a tool that helps you navigate complex financial situations without requiring like a financial planner or like a human being. The second one is a bucket of like, it's general HR tooling, but it includes 2 facets. The first is sexual harassment training, because we know that everyone loves doing that. And it's incredibly interactive. And people learn lots from it.
Christy's been talking about it nonstop, Alex. She's been talking about it nonstop.
But I think what was cool about it is there's like kind of a couple of parts to that. There's both like you get to create your own character, right? You get to walk through several levels or challenge scenarios. So like similar to the actual training that we get today annually, right? There's like buckets and tiers of complexity for each challenge. And then there's like a scoring mechanism. So instead of like the quizzes, you actually navigate a conversation. And if you exit successfully, you get a score for it or you get points for it. And obviously, I think a part of that too is just making sure you have content for each of the scenarios that a user can navigate through. And then the other part is more around like soft skill advancement, which is how do you like prep for interviews or how do you prep for promotion conversations? Like what are some ways that you can navigate salary bands or like understand what the market provides you today? How do you actually have the conversation, whether it's with your hiring manager or your current manager? And then being able to practice with like different profiles. So maybe you have to convince both your immediate manager and your skip, right, that you're worth promoting and why that is. And they might be really different character profiles. And so being able to practice the conversation before actually having it would better prepare you to do well.
So interesting. Am I supposed to give my feedback now?
Yeah, go for it.
Wait, no, you have to sell yours too.
Okay,
this is a business pitch.
This is a business pitch. Okay, so mine are, so my first one is like self-service patient advocacy. Some of the issues I have is like, you know, we wait to go to the doctor, that 6-month appointment, and then you have like all these things you want to talk to them about, and then I don't know what follow-up questions to ask my doctor. They give me a medication, like what should I be asking? I say I have anxiety, what are the questions I should be asking to inform this? And this happened to me, and also I was telling her about my dad. He just got shoulder surgery and had a shoulder replacement, and it's like, when is it going to recover? When should you stop feeling pain? Like, when can you start physical therapy? When should you stop doing physical therapy? And so having more of a prompt to actually get to like you being able to make honest health decisions yourself. And so that's one. And then the other one was my 2 half-baked ideas is insurance navigation. So like understanding what insurance to pick from like a deductible perspective, from like what that even means. What does like in network, out of network, what is like the scope of this instead of like the nice little pillars that they give you when you're selecting stuff, like helping to navigate it a little bit and personalize that. And then the other is less baked, and I don't think we're going to do it. It's a provider search. Like Riley hasn't gone to the doctor in like a year because she can't find a provider, and it's like, you know, it's just hard. And so in the mental health field, and I think from a PCP perspective, that's where it's just really challenging to understand like who you can see, who is available, what that looks like without taking like so much time to go through all of these systems. So anyway, we'll let you go.
Yeah, what do you think?
And then we'll let you go, and then we'll start talking about where we're at.
Okay. So the financial planner one is like that is helpful. I think it's like I'm thinking of like Copilot or like Xmint, right? Like you can like upload your data, etc. I think that's useful. I imagine at some point, if they don't already have it, like Copilot offering that service, right? So like they already have your data. So they're just like, okay, now let's put a layer on top of it and let's help you plan based off of that data.
Yeah.
I think the sexual harassment one, like personally would love that because I always have it like in a different screen, and then like they're getting way more sophisticated now where like you can't like be off the screen. I'm curious if there's like certain HR or just like regulations that require every employee to like explicitly respond to certain types of questions or like acknowledge that they're aware of. Because I liked your idea of like personalizing it in a way, like discuss it, and then like if you pass the certain level, we're not going to ask you like 8 more questions about the same thing. But I don't know. Anyway, that's the question I have.
Yeah.
The one about like professional development and having those conversations.
Oh yeah.
I think that's really cool. I think that's very interesting. I think you could sell that to like a LinkedIn or to like just like companies. Like it could be part of their, you know, employee benefits. Kelly, I really like the insurance one. I actually think that's like really helpful, and you could also start to, this is me like thinking like it's going to be a smash it. Like you could sell that to like health plans and like to insurance companies, right, to help them navigate that, because I'm sure they spend a lot of money on hiring humans to field those phone calls, right? Like I know Jason's called because he had to switch insurance. And then similarly with like provider search, I think that's always helpful too. So anyway, yeah, I think that these are all great. I think some of them might have more constraints than others.
So which one do you want to do in the next 3 hours? Feel free to add to the
what
whiteboard.
are your ideas?
God, honestly, I haven't really. Okay, I actually created this project on Claude. So like when Amelia was born, Claude was like, I just talked to Claude like all the time. Like, is this normal? Like, what are that? I just felt like I was constantly repeating myself. So anyway, it's just like, I don't really think it needs to be a separate product, but it's like creating a project that has the context of your child and also like age-wise and developmental stage-wise, and also keeps in mind like your postpartum journey. Because as a parent, most of the apps that are out there are all about the baby. Like, love the baby, cute, amazing, but like it's always about like, this is the baby's milestone, this is what you should be expecting or like not expect. As a mom, you're like, yo, like I'm also going through a lot too. Like I just had like the biggest hormonal crash of my life. Like what's normal for me? And I think that's just like there's tools I think around, or like at least apps, like there's like Peanut or like some of the pregnancy tracking apps, but they kind of just drop off after
Bloom or something. Is there something called Bloom?
Yeah, I think at least, and again, I don't know if it's like a real problem, like maybe.
I think it is. Like that's why women's groups like exist just in general, because people don't know
or don't focus on it.
Right, it's like disparate, right? So it's like you have all your baby information data here, you're tracking sleep, etc. But then like to your point, Kelly, like maybe you have like an independent like, mom support group. It's like how do you merge those, or at least make them aware of each other? So it's like, okay, I'm feeling this way because this is what I'm going through, and like this is what I might be able to expect with my child in like 3 weeks or 3 months or something.
I don't like that.
Just based on your experience, is there a tool today that like focuses on one part of the journey very well, like has a lot of the market, and could potentially expand into the more holistic journey?
There are several pregnancy-focused apps. So like what to expect, or I don't know. That's the one I think I looked at, where it's like you punch in your due date, and then it gives you a week by week like update on the size of your baby and what's happening in your body, etc. But like once the baby's born, the advice or like the content that's given is much more generic, right? It's like and it's still focused on the baby. It's like, this is what's happening with the baby, and it's like, try to get some more sleep. Oh, it's like, okay, dude, like I know that, like it's not personalized, so I think like,
and it's not in the same system. Like, why would you have to have 2 different apps, like, and entering 2 different sets of information in terms of due date, when you had your baby, what might still be going on with you? So it's like you want to understand the ages and stages. What am I thinking about for my kid? But also, what about me?
Yeah, so what's happening? Like I just have done like random prompting about like how long does it take for my like VO2 max, or like my actual like oxygen to like reach back. It takes like up to 18 months after you have a baby, which is like, it's just kind of crazy. I don't think a lot of people know that, and I think that it makes a lot of moms feel like that there's something wrong with them. That they're just like, I feel so like not myself, like what's wrong with me, And so I think that does sometimes lead to postpartum depression too. So,
dude, I'm reading right now. I like ended up in a part of the internet about
we're deep in this pregnancy stuff now.
A moment for parents, and it's literally a chatbot for parents prior to birth and then post birth. The rate of engagement is quite high, right? Like there's clearly a need.
And again, I think thinking about things like connected systems, both baby and parent information in one system, connecting to health trackers so it can make that more preventative decision and information sharing versus like reactive.
I'm also now seeing 3 more papers about 4 different chatbots for different phases of parenthood. One for engaging parents of preterm and term infants, one for pregnant women, like actively pregnant, and then one for postpartum. I'm like, wait, why don't you just have one? Also publishing multiple pilot studies.
Oh my God.
It is, and it's like there's companies like Progeny and Maven that do provide services to women throughout that journey,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
I mean, just based off of like my personal sample size, like I don't know a lot of moms that have time to like have a 30-minute to 40
You don't want like 4 chatbots depending on where you're feeling.
or like to like have a one-on-one conversation like over Google Meets or something. Like that is ideal, but I think in the maybe like first 3 months, like it's just hard, I think, for a lot of moms.
You're trying to stay alive and you're trying to know if this is normal or not. Like basically that's the main thing that you're trying to figure out.
Really about your baby and or yourself, and you're just like you're not sleeping, you're probably not like getting enough nutrients.
I've been getting really into more of the holistic care specifically for hormone support and like trying to get off of medications and different things like that. And I think there's like a whole market. What are the supplements? What are like the different things that we should be, what tea should I be drinking? And like in order to like chill me out and stuff like that. Yeah, even I was looking up Glow, and that they have 4 different apps. Glow for getting pregnant, Glow for your prenatal health, Glow for your baby, and Glow for like period tracking.
I really hope they have like some tiering here.
Oh my
God. Like,
God.
oh, you graduated from the first 8-month program.
All right. Well, I like this idea. So now I'm on HR tooling or pregnancy features. So where are we at right now? Because I think
we have a subject matter expert as well.
I mean, I'm kind of into this pregnancy component.
Yeah.
Looking at the HR components, I think there's definitely a market here because most of this is like VR simulations.
Exactly.
As opposed to like straight up gaming, which I do think is the cooler route. I don't want to go through this.
Can you imagine? Everyone also has to get a VR headset.
Oh my God. And whatever those avatars are, I am not. Do not let them get me, Alex. There's a website called Body Swaps.
Oh yeah, it's called Body Swaps.
Terrifying.
They appear to be doing what we want to do, but like they're not doing it well.
Like I said, when I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about like the early 2000s games that is like a Pokemon game or a Star Search game.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do a research component on consumer pregnancy apps.
As much as I love this idea, the pregnancy idea, I feel like I would want to like spend a whole weekend with you guys building this. There's like so many directions that we could go with this. So if we want to do something like today, I think maybe we can do our sexual harassment gamification because everyone really needs that.
All right, game time decision, guys. I'm throwing in deep research for the pregnancy stuff. Do we want to wait for the research or do we want to make a decision here?
I kind of like that you already have like scenarios, Alex. So it might be easier since we already have like somewhat validated prompts.
And we can, and I think we can start small. Like again, we're only doing this for the next like honestly 2 hours. And so what that looks like is maybe we focus really on those first 3 months, and it's like baby support and mother support in the first 3 months of life.
Wait, I have a question for you, Alex. Where do you think the current state of Claude as your tool while you're navigating this, like the first 3 months, fell short?
Well, before projects existed, it was like needing to repeat myself about context. So that project yeah. I mean, honestly, this is why I've been struggling with this too. Is because like I've created like some prototypes and stuff of this, and I'm just like, I'm personally not convinced that like it needs to be more than a personalized Claude project.
What about like, hey, it looks like your child might be approaching like terrible twos or something like that. Like I'm just totally making it up, right? Like a proactive.
I think the proactive piece, that's a really good call out. And I think there's another opportunity for like data integration. So like with Claude, right? Like, I mean, technically you can connect to different databases, but like I'm thinking about apps that parents are using, like apps or something like that, like sleep apps or whatnot.
and you can't load that into context. So yeah, you need to set it up.
I like the proactive component though, being able to like, did the systems that you used, Alex, like check in with you every day? Was like, hey girl, how you feeling?
No.
Because I'm thinking like elements of check-in, elements of connected data, and then the proactive decision making.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want like an integration with health tools.
What's like a tool that you used, or like what type of data would you have liked to have?
There's a lot of baby tracking apps. So there's like an app called Huckleberry. There's a similar app called Nara, Nara, Nara Baby. Okay. And like you can track feeding, you can track diapers, you can track like really anything. I feel like the baby side of things is covered because I think the baby industry really does prey on like parents' fears that they're like not doing enough, or that like if you don't track enough, or if you don't have eyes on X, Y, or Z, like your child's going to be in danger. So like you can track anything: doctor's appointments, weight, medications, hydration, like everything. There's no shortage of data there. I think it then becomes like, how do you layer that on top of the stage that the mother is in? Kelly, I'm really glad you brought up just like the hormonal concept. I mean, like perspective.
Yeah,
like
homeopathic.
Yeah, that's huge. It's just like the endocrine system is just like extremely powerful, and I think that it's becoming a lot more mainstream now, people talking about that. But I think that's just like, as a pregnant person and like postpartum, they just tell you like, oh yeah, hormones are like changing a lot. Like it's very
really cool.
You know, it's like, okay, like,
Is that bad?
like what, you know, like what's happening to me?
How do you enable a user to be able, like, is it like a,
It's based off of your feelings.
is it like a symptom thing? Yeah.
It would be,
Okay.
it's symptom based, and that's what a lot of these like hormonal or autoimmune diseases like have a hard time with. It can only be as accurate as somebody actually completing it. So, you know, having elements of, I think, information about the baby, because that's what you're really concerned about, it tied in with information about you to make sure the mom is not lost or forgotten.
Yeah, I think that's the main problem, but I also am just like, is that enough of a problem? Like, are there enough moms out there that want to know this level of like granularity about what's going on with them?
Are there any apps for like prior to the postpartum stage where you might want to track hormones? It's like I'm envisioning that there's maybe something that helps you know that, oh, like now might be a good time to start trying.
There are a lot now. I was actually going to ask if like you guys were aware of that, but it looks like there's like at-home hormone trackers now too.
Okay. Yeah.
Benito, Uva. I have heard of Uva. A lot of like period tracking apps, which I guess. Oh, I think actually Aura just like released like women's health.
Because I feel like the period tracking thing is also something you would care. Oh, I don't know. Is this something that you would care after?
Right?
I did. I think you like. I think that's the thing is like it's a cycle. It's a continuum rather. So that's why I think we're seeing 4 different apps from one company, because they're like, okay, your period is connected to fertility, connected to pregnancy.
Yeah, exactly. Like it seems like it should be one place that tracks all of that. Yeah. Like why would Clue not do something?
Yeah, Clue. No, I use Clue for my period.
I
don't know.
So consistently.
Clue has so many like ads. I'm just like, dude, I don't.
Yeah, it does have a lot of ads, but I'm like, why would they not move into this?
That's why I think that's the same question I had, Chrissy. Is like, okay, am I actually solving a problem? Because all of these companies and these apps have like, they have data. They just haven't decided to use it in this particular way.
So maybe it's like also an integration with different systems out there in order to like not collect all data that already exists.
Period tracking. Yeah, they even have trying to conceive, pregnancy, perimenopause.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I just haven't paid for it.
Maybe we should just build it and sell it.
That's what I'm saying. Literally, I'm like, I don't think a lot of these apps would want to integrate. They probably would not be down.
They would want it as a feature for themselves. Yeah,
exactly. Because they're going to be like, oh, we don't want to give you all the data that we took years to collect.
And like, to be fair, the data is the moat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then let's, like I said, focus on those like first 3 to 6 months, or maybe a year, the first year, and focus on both baby and mom, but mostly focus on like mom's health, and focus on a holistic package of care in terms of hormone health, weight, eating, sleep, fatigue, trying to track all of those different pieces. We need like information just in general. So we need to be pulling information. And so we can use an AI, a back-end AI component that is sourcing from like the broader internet, or do we want to have more like specific source?
I think we could totally leverage like a generic data set, right? Like a generic data set of hormonal symptoms that occur for a postpartum woman between 3 to 6 months after birth. And then for infant health, I mean, ideal state, right? We would have some integrators or like connectors where you could sign in to your own account if you were tracking this information previously. And then infant health, I think we could also, there's probably a lot of generic data sets on the internet on like sleep cycle, feedings, and milestones, right? Especially if the focus is usually on the infant.
We already talked about integration. So integration of previously collected data, being able to collect information, and then also check-ins every day, like daily check-ins. And then
would that be fatiguing? Like what is a good frequency?
It depends on like what you're prompting the individual about. Like if you're asking them to do something and give you data, it's probably like daily is probably too much. I mean, you can make it more like open-ended or like inviting, where it's like, I don't know, in the first 3 months I think some people just need like encouragement, you know, so it's like, hey, you're doing great, like literally, like you're a queen, like, and like have that be kind of the hook, I guess.
So Alex, in those first 3 months,
balance, maybe.
What did you want to know the most?
I just wanted to know if what was happening was normal. And I think like based off of my own research, like that's very common. People, because every baby's so different, and I think just the general baby advice out there is general by nature, right? Like they give you ranges and they say like, oh, okay, if this is happening, it's probably fine. So I think like, is what's happening normal for baby and also for me? And I honestly think that's like the main question in the first 3 months.
So it's basically proactive components using your personal information and like normalcy checks. And then flags if it's out of normal. So it's like making sure it's giving positive reinforcement when it's normal, but having really clear indications when it's out of scope or not normal, and when you need to speak with somebody.
What are the things that you put in before you ask the question of what's happening normal for the baby or me? Is it like temperature, like a sleep pattern?
Sometimes you don't know what information to provide. So I actually think that's another value add, is like, can you help the individual ask the right questions? If anyone's going to use this, it would be like first time parents probably. I feel like when you have a second baby, you're just like, all right, they're fine.
On your fourth kid, there's nobody.
I think that's actually a good question, Chrissy, because it's like sometimes people don't know what information you need. Like if you were to call into like a nurse's line, they're obviously following some type of framework or like formula.
And they're going to escalate usually. I always feel like when you call those lines, their first thing, unless it's like I have a rash that isn't impacted, their thing is like go to the hospital right now.
A lot of parents like end up bringing their kids to the doctor because they'd rather be safe than sorry. You can Google things, but like there's just like so much trash. And I think what I was personally looking for was like, show me the evidence. Like, what's the science behind what you're telling me?
Oh, yeah.
This is what Maddie was talking about yesterday in terms of building trust. And it's like, thank you for putting it in like a really cute widget. And that's understandable. But like, truly, is this research that happened in 2010 or 2019? I want to know.
Taking your question, Christy, in a different direction, like setting context for the mother, I think I think it's helpful to know not just like when the baby was born, but like how was the baby born? Like what's the current like feeding method? Like where do you live? Like do you live in a city? Do you live like on a farm? You know, do you have help? I think all of that helps personalize the experience, which again, I think the hyper personalization is just not safe.
Okay.
This is interesting though, because you want the user to feel encouraged to engage, right? Like, but there is no real call to action.
And that's why it's like, is that barrier gonna be so high that they're like, dude, I don't need to do this, you know? And so that's why I flip-flop between like, is having just a Claude project like
the same, like a generic, like you just type in something anyways kind of thing.
I think it's expansive to that, because Claude, to your point, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know the questions to ask. So you might not be able to get to the right type of prompt.
That's true.
Okay. I'm into it. So I think we have enough. I'm finalizing some of this research right now, but then I think how I would go about this is like maybe we just talk to ChatGPT to create the high level requirements, and then we'll put that in Lovable and just see what happens.
I think we should focus it, like to your point, Kelly, like let's focus on the first 3 to 6 months and see if that changes anything.
I got our report. So consumer pregnancy apps for the first trimester. So my prompt was like, you know, is there a pregnancy app out there? Do a market research. So most apps excel week by week fetal development, menstrual symptom journaling. Fewer provide credible test or lab guidance, medication safety, validated triage, or strong privacy assurances. Most evidence-backed clinical support. There's like BiScripts, Pregnancy Plus Baby Center. Best for pregnancy mental health framing is Clue Pregnancy Mode. Best for wellness, fitness and nutrition, baby to baby. I mean, that's kind of an important one. Best for high-touch telehealth, Maven and Pomelo Care. Best privacy posture among mainstream app stores is Baby Scripts, and it frames HIPAA-based handling of PHI. Okay, so it says market landscape. It has women's health one app consolidation. This includes the pregnancy cycle, wellness first pregnancy support, clinician connected programs. I think that'd be important.
One app.
It says women's health one app consolidations that include pregnancy mode. So the table below, it outlines like first trimester attributes. Okay, so it's more for pregnancy. The ones that we have is Baby Center, the track pregnancy app, what to expect pregnancy tracker and baby app, the bump, baby and pregnancy app, Pregnancy Plus, Avia Cycle, Glow Nurture Pregnancy week by week, Pregnancy Tracker by Sprout, Pregnancy App by Amelia, Pregnancy Tracker app by Moms, Amma Pregnancy and Baby Tracker, Hi Mommy Ovulation and Pregnancy Tracker week by week, Hello Belly Pregnancy Tracker. So a lot of pregnancy trackers, and that I think have like the post component associated with it. Let's build it. Let's try it. Like I said, I think the easiest flow is probably to outline requirements via like verbal. I think why don't we start with, I'll put yours into ChatGPT and be like, we're going to be building a health app. What if we do it both on Claude and ChatGPT, so we just have it recording at the same time? We are starting a health app for women postpartum, 3 months postpartum, to track both baby and mom health across hormone, behavior, medical health, just in general. I'm going to share with you an initial prompt that was created in order to create this consumer app, and then we're going to be giving you additional requirements to build out specific requirements that we want to put into Lovable to create this app. Okay, and then Here is the initial prompt that was used. Okay, we're going to give you some additional requirements for this new application. We want you to format them into a prompt for Lovable to make the most optimized, user-friendly, fun, engaging, and exciting new app for this particular population. So the different types of things that we need is to ensure evidence-based data set and clear links to that evidence for these new moms as they go through. We want to allow individuals to be able to search for specific questions that they have, as well as be prompted utilizing a natural language processing feature and query intake system. We want to be able to allow that individual to also be fed additional questions or follow-up questions that might be insightful when they query. We want them to be able to integrate to health systems like or consumer health data collection apps like iHealth, Oura Ring, Apple Watch, I guess that's iHealth, and Fitbit, etc. And use that information in order to provide guidance to new moms in terms of fatigue or symptom tracking, especially for hormonal dips, and then have general recommendations associated with holistic support or medical grade intervention associated with their health information. We want to have, I think, preventative insights on a daily or weekly cadence, as well as tracking of sleep, I think food, I don't know, what else do we want to track?
Hydration. Some logs I think would be helpful is like tracking like pain or like if you have like spotting or stuff like that, like mom health.
Mood, I think is also a good one too, checking in on mood on a daily basis. So daily check-ins that aren't over-intrusive also provide guidance and recommendations and have no element of shaming associated with it and lead to potentially additional follow-up questions or follow-up inquiries. We want to ensure it's not just mom focused, it's also providing insights about initial development so moms know that their baby is developing normally, and then flags if there's anything out of sorts or out of norm based off of the information they might be sharing. We want to make sure we have connected to robust data sets that we can clearly show this information in and how this information is generated to build trust within the app. We also want to focus on not just Western medicine, but holistic care in terms of physical and behavioral changes that individuals can take, like going outside for a walk, touching grass, reading a book, specific types of teas or other homeopathic alternatives or diets that can help support different hormonal changes and things that are, not cost inhibitive or cost intrusive. We want to be able to allow the individual to share as much information as they want to get more personalized information, but also provide high-level generalized recommendations associated with it. Again, we want this to be cute and engaging and very user-friendly and as positive as possible in this really challenging part of individual's life that's very exciting, but also has high stakes associated with it. And we want it to be novel in the market as well. There's a lot of different pregnancy tracking apps and baby tracking apps, but limited components that are combined to take both the mom's care as well as the baby's care into mind.
Do we talk at all about learning? So like curated content by topic and by postpartum week. So like looking at baby milestones and things that you should proactively learn about given what stage they're at.
Yeah, very clear ages and stages education guidelines. What about community support? Do we feel like that we want to have an element of social component to allow moms to engage and answer questions between one another, post information?
Yeah, a community spot for new moms, even maybe emergency resources available if there's something that happens.
Sharing,
yeah.
I think we want to keep this nationally focused, so US based. And then what do we think the pricing model would look like? Are we thinking there needs to be a freemium and then an element of paid
subscribe for
subscription.
more. Yeah.
What would a freemium look like? So I think this is where we want some recommendations, thinking about a freemium versus a paid subscription, specifically taking into consideration the diversity of social economic impacts within new moms. We want to make sure that information is readily shared, but ensure we are building a business substantially. So always making sure health information is accessible, but maybe the more personalized information is behind a paywall. And so any guidance there. Any final things that we want to think about here?
Sounds pretty cool.
All right. Please make this optimized for the lovable AI prompt in order to build this out. We want it to be called Grounded and focus on moms stop Googling at 3 a.m. and getting their evidence-based answers.
Okay, so I also did the like text-based from
awesome.
Claude.
Okay.
On top of what Alex provided.
Perfect.
It's so interesting. The immediate focus was make this a supportive friend and not a clinical tool. I love that emphasis.
A supportive friend.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so you're doing it in Lovable now. Should I do it too and see what we get?
This is the prompt they gave me for Lovable. Yeah, I'd be so curious.
Let's see what happens then.
Claude also added like it's interesting the workflows because it built on what was already there from your prompt, and it builds like, okay, you need like a home page, right, daily dashboard or something like that with a check-in card. And then call to actions for like quick logs. So maybe there's like feed or diaper or sleep or pump. Second tab is tracking. So like tracking baby cycles, right? And that could be integration. Like it doesn't actually require manual input. But then the mommy tracking could also be integration if that already exists, or some of those like simple streaks for self-care habits, like gentle awareness that you should do your minutes of movement or like you should drink water.
Gentle awareness. That's so pretty.
Baby tracking and even the mom tracking should be like optional and like should be like
or you
personalize your output even more, and that data gets added into like whatever backend prompt.
All right, I'm just gonna like dump a bunch of stuff in Lovable. We're gonna see what happens. I've only used it like really for like Jana's stuff, honestly, and otherwise I use a lot of like Figma.
Okay.
And maybe I'll do it in Figma as well. Figma Make.
Figma Make.
Fucking love
so easy to use.
Figma Make. It's such a game changer.
You know what's interesting is like I'm starting in Claude, but like I can literally just continue in Lovable. Like I don't need Claude.
No, you don't need Claude after that.
Yeah, like at all.
Well, yeah, I mean it's the same thing.
Yeah.
All right. I'm really, really excited to see how these are different.
Oh my god, it even looks like, I mean, it's literally another version of what Alex already made.
This is what I think is going to happen with all of these like vibe coded things. Everything is going to look and feel the same.
Yeah, that's going to be bad though.
Okay, I have to go. I'm sorry. Please
All
send
good,
me
girl.
all the things. I love you both so much.
Bye.
Happy
Bye.
Yeah, so what is yours?
like
What did
this.
yours end up looking like?
I don't like this yet.
Yeah,
I need to
yours is,
keep
like, really
prompting.
simple.
Oh, okay, so this is the tabs. Interesting.
I do like a smiley face.
It's
It
all
is looking
very
like generic.
friendly. Yeah, it is very generic.
I like that it's simple though. Like that's what, especially when I was building out Odyssey, you know, it was about trying to keep features out of it.
Yeah.
And like what is really impactful.
less noise.
Yeah. Okay, so I have something very similar to yours.
Oh, wow,
So welcome to Grounded. Grounded helps you understand.
Interesting.
Tell us about your baby.
I do like the form fields were much longer on mine. Interesting.
This is still baby focused. Yeah, all of this is baby focused. So I feel like we're just making another baby app.
Yeah.
The initial framework that you outlined is very baby-centric as opposed to mother-centric. Can you please update this framework so it focuses more on the mom's wellness while also providing insights and information about the baby's wellness in tandem, ensuring her personal appointments are provided for what she can expect based off of, you know, different birthing scenarios, as well as, again, hormone balances. There also wasn't a place to connect, to integrate or connect your health tracking devices like iHealth or Oura Ring. We want to make sure that that's clearly present. We also want to provide emergency resources like the crisis text line 211 or other emergency resources that a mom can call or reach out to based off of mental health issues or immediate issues with their personal health or their baby's health. As well as to understand community resources that are free or low cost for them to utilize. Yeah, those are the main things. I don't know if I like the homepage being like just a chat feature. What does yours look like?
My first one is the call to action, like, how are you feeling today?
Oh, okay, I like that way more.
It's like low effort, but like engagement.
When they get here, what are they supposed to do? They're essentially like...
There's faces on here. Like, how are you feeling today? Click one of the faces. Then there's a follow-up of like, why do you feel this way? And then there's some more adjectives. I selected overwhelmed and lonely. And then it responded with this.
Hey, mama.
This is not functional.
What would we want to track? Baby being fed or mom being fed?
Baby. I think these are all baby. Diaper, sleep, pump, feed, which can also be tracked. Oh, it is functional because I was just clicking this. Okay, so if I click diaper, it'll track here overall
3 diapers.
with the time points.
That's not user-friendly, but I mean, it kind of is.
That was not intuitive, yeah. But it does minimize user burden, right? Like, I don't have to think about the time or anything like that. I just come in here and, like, do it. Interesting. But that's, like, not...
Do you tell it to do that, though, in, like, a more intuitive way? Yeah.
I get what they're trying to make it an easy button, right?
One, you should be able to add what you want in your quick log. So you should be able to configure that yourself for your dashboard. Because again, if somebody isn't pumping, if they're doing formula, then that feels borderline offensive to keep it there. And and then 2, I agree, I like it there, but
it's like not...
Maybe it's just like, I mean, I hate adding text, but maybe it is like select.
You know, Clue kind of does this for me. Let's see what the pattern is.
Okay, so mine is
starting to get similar.
How are you feeling today? Mood, energy, sleep. Ask
like
grounded anything. And then your recovery, week 9. Your 6-week postpartum checkup is coming up. Write down any questions or concerns.
I like that, the reminder.
And then I put a resilience score in as well. So it's like, I don't know what this is based off of. I know.
Yeah.
But we'll see what that looks like. And then...
Okay. I like the appointment tracker.
Amelia's development, and then daily insight.
Cute. I like the gratefulness.
I kind of do like that. Okay, so if I'm going to say mood, I put in mood.
Similar,
And I put mine or my baby, so I can do both.
I kind of like this pattern of like, the pattern is really minimal. It's it'll just show
mood, your face.
Yeah, mood. Just the face, and then you'll add anything else with like adjectives.
Yeah, it's way better, I think.
There's so much to enter here.
Which is good.
But yeah.
But it feels like a lot. Yeah. You're doing amazing, mama.
Yeah.
So I just checked in, and then what does it show me?
Okay, I don't know if I enjoy this either. I was trying to figure out the pattern for quick log that Clue does. So on Clue, it's today's date. Everything's on this calendar. So the call to action would be you click track, and there's all these things you can track.
Yeah, because we do that kind of too with Aura, but it is still like not super intuitive.
But it also is clear what I'm doing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, instead of me just being on this page, and then I see all of this, it's like, oh, if I click this, I don't actually know what it does. But it's actually tracking here. You know what I mean?
It should open to... it should maybe like indicate...
That like your click did something.
It should definitely...
Right now there's no feedback.
It needs to have an interaction.
Okay, so like some of the stuff in the mood was also wrapped up for you in hydration stuff, right? That's interesting.
But I think that I like kind of this definitely UI where, again, I like yours in that when you indicate mood and then you have like a couple of things and maybe I would say energy, stress, pain, bleeding. I mean, but
the thing is, you're mixing up mood here with like health. Does that make sense? Right?
Yeah,
Like
we're talking about behavioral versus physical.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. Like this is behavior, movement today,
yeah,
hydration.
and also like the hydration one. This all of these like these bottom ones, like I don't know, these could change over the course of the day. I guess that could change too.
No,
I don't know.
I think then we're back at the kind of the quick tabs.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
here, I'm gonna just like try some stuff. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't need all the raw events.
I mean, I like expanded raw events, but it should be summarized.
But if I were a mom, what do I actually want? I want to know that like I changed her diaper 3 hours ago. I probably needed to change her diaper now. Not necessarily that I changed it 4 times today.
Yeah,
Does that make
you
sense?
want the last time.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got.
My God.
I know, we're trying.
Is that your entire prompt?
I'm going deep. I go deep. This is like an insane marketing ploy for Lovable. Like, this is awesome because people are going to get like addicted and then they'll have to purchase something in order to like continue to use it.
It's smart.
I truly wonder how much power this is costing though. So other things that I was kind of like learning through some of this is, so if we do want to launch it, I mean, there's a couple of options. One of the things that I really liked is creating like a mascot too. Ooh. So that was something in my like market research, like creating a more human friendly component, having like a mascot, like truly potentially thinking about like a Sierra. Okay, well, we just got our first error. We're deep in Lovable World. We have a couple of working models, and we got the error. Oh my God, it logged me out. We're running into issues, guys. It's happening. She is working hard. Hi there, Mama. I love it.
Do you think I should just move the entire me section to the first screen?
To which one? Which elements?
All of it. The mood is already on the first. I guess the mood over the week is helpful. Then it should be pain over the week and water over the week. It shouldn't be mood this week and then pain level today only.
Yeah, if I open track, I want to see progress. I want to see.
It's like over time.
I want to see it over time.
Although the baby one is at the index of today's time, not over the week.
Then maybe I want to. In the baby's timeline, have a day and then a week.
Also be able to do
have a
different
toggle.
trends. And then this one is for the week.
I would say day and week. I don't need it on my homepage.
But then on the day, well, you want the call to action on the homepage.
You want the initial
right?
you want the initial call to
Because if there's already a log for Amelia's, then I want one for me because I'm already being asked about my mood. Okay.
Yeah, I think in the end we can show Alex's initial design.
Yeah.
And then the additional features that we enhanced off of it.
Yeah.
And then maybe do some feedback about like pros and cons and,
between Claude and well, your first prompt was ChatGPT. Yeah.
But so I think it gave me a good infrastructure, but I think Claude gave you more user-friendly
that's true.
components
to tweak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it gave you a better initial MVP, where mine, I think, is still a little bit lacking. So I think we should do, after this, do kind of an episode of like pros and cons, and then, lessons learned of like what worked well, what didn't. And it goes to, our initial planning. It's kind of what took the longest. We've been doing this for like less than an hour, So it's like, take your time at the front end, figure out what works.
What's interesting though is like, if I pulled the code out and tried to run it, I wonder what would happen.
I mean, we should potentially try. How I use Figma Make and how I use this, I like to do it in another prompt to like optimize, because I think I gave it too much. I gave it too much.
Like too much.
So usually I will put it into another prompt and be like, optimize it for AI, and I think that's usually when I get the best things.
Wait, that's so interesting, because like the whole intention is to pull your whole tweaking into just this.
I know, but you have to be, I think you're doing it right, where it has to be bite size. I give it too many things.
For like each.
Yeah. I said like do this,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
this,
yeah,
do this,
yeah,
do
yeah,
this,
yeah,
do
yeah,
this.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
like tweak this, and then it tweaks.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good lessons learned.
Yeah.
Okay,
Aw,
so
this is cute.
we just finished our initial iteration. I did ChatGPT and then put it into Lovable, and then Christy did Anthropic and put it into Lovable. And so we had kind of different approaches. And then Alex acted as our subject matter expert, and we went with a app specifically for women, postpartum, ideally in the first 3 months, just when you're trying to figure out if things are normal. And the problem statement we had was originally that women didn't have there's a lot of apps specifically for pregnancy out there on the market, but they focus on the baby's health and not as much on the mother's health. So we were trying to target a little bit more to the mother, as well as providing guidance associated with the baby. And so the main goal is to have moms stop Googling at 3 a.m. or allow them a place to Google at 3 a.m. So this is my variation. We utilized Grounded as the name that Alex had come up with originally. A user, it's kind of pretty. It helps us understand the baby, postpartum recovery, what's normal, when to get help. So we'll use baby Amelia. We're in the first 3 months. We're feeding via combination, prefer not to say. And then I'd like most help with postpartum, mental health, and baby sleep. And I'm going to enter Grounded. I thought I fixed that. So anyway, my check-in is about, I guess I can come in a couple of different areas in terms of mood. I mean, I kind of like that. It's not focused mood centric. So pain, mood. So I can, and then it'll prompt me based off of my initial question and prompt me in terms of, additional
Like brainstorming?
Yeah, like how I'm feeling based off of those previous questions. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I have my check-in, and so I have an okay mood, okay energy, and it just tells me to stay hydrated. I have elements of quick log, and I can add more health details. I think this still feels pretty disjointed. I tried to add a note section. It does not function. But I can track my sleep kind of like you were doing, and I liked that daily activity.
Kind of functions.
Oh.
It's not notable.
Yeah,
it doesn't pop up. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see it. Yeah, it's not intuitive at all. Okay, so there's some elements there, but then those pieces get tracked. There are things that I like though, in terms of, having clear recommendations, which get edited based off of, how that individual is doing. And so, trying to stay positive. I think there are good things there. You can ask directly into the ask section. And I do think I like the ask section a lot. So there's a reassurance component, why this happens, and then elements on when to contact a doctor for like higher issues or just general insights. And then it provides, let's see, cross our fingers. No, the citations and resources still.
Wait, that's so interesting.
It was working for a second, but I'm getting these 405 errors. So, but I did add a component of being able to have a list, like a log. Yeah, because I wanted to be able to go back. The learn section is also nice, and there's like clear citations and insights from each of those pieces. We'll see if this works.
It's real.
All right. So there's some elements that are real here, which is good. And then some of the main other features that I kind of like are my resilience score, and it does provide us some information about where my resilience score is coming from. So we'll have to tweak that. I'm able to edit my appointments, but I still don't like them because it's not based off of weeks. It tells a little bit about the baby's development, and then I can add any daily insights. Before, this was associated with gratitude, and I think I would go back to gratitude, but I can say like, I feel tired today. But I like this more as a gratitude journal, I think.
I agree with that. Yeah. Because this is like too catch-all.
Yeah. And I would also be able to do that up here. Yeah. So this is a log, and then this, we want to, focus on mental health and like checking in on how that individual is feeling. And then I also like this piece. I added a journey so I can have my daily log, but also my summary. And I think that helps a little bit here.
Resilience score.
Yeah. I think that's a cool feature. And then none of my profile things work, but I do like the emergency components. And that's on the homepage as well, which I think is a nice touch. All right, Christy, let's see yours.
Okay. So this is a homepage. I hate this.
But I like how mild the app feels. I think
not too much.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I love how Claude was more focused on creating an experience that felt more like a friend or like a supportive friend than a clinical advisor.
Yeah, your UI is way better. I would say just say the 3 a.m. there. I think it's
Like
just
make it a little, yeah.
So Alex is the sub SME and we are just trying to make it happen. So we'll do another review with Alex in terms of the types of features that were actually
This is interesting.
really useful. Oh, that is interesting. I like that.
But I do think there's some room for improvement here around like not included in this list, right? So this is a home screen where the mom will come in every day. It's kind of like a progress note every day. So today I feel like I'm struggling, and then it'll elicit more feedback on why you feel that way. Sleep deprived, body pain, saved.
Yeah, this feels way more intuitive and user friendly, I think. And I love this icon, this widget at the top.
And I do think in general, there's a lot of like gentle nudges throughout the app. So an extra helpline if you're interested. And I think all of this only comes with struggling or, I
When
think
you say like you're struggling, The one thing I would say, the one thing I added to is the ability to edit this too. So I think like
that's a good idea.
That's like another component.
Especially as it changes. Yeah. I did like the separation of like mood versus body check-in. So body check-in, if the pain level is 4 or above, there's a suggestion to reach out to a clinical provider.
That's very cool.
Obviously some work around how to do that. Water intake is editable, right? So maybe right now it's 1, and then there's an encouragement to drink more, which I like. Keep going.
I like that a lot. Look at that gamification. Everybody wants a green star.
Everyone loves a check mark.
Yeah.
And the quick log is just an easy way to log like baby behavior, right? And what's going on with the baby. I like that it's really just a quick check and event generation. That way there's very little onus on the user to provide additional feedback. So that's kind of the home screen. And I think that's where most of the actions would take place.
Very cool.
And so I think the goal, definitely keep it minimal as much as possible, right? So then moving over to tracking, which is more in depth. For the baby, there's kind of this overall status, including, hey, it looks like she was just fed recently, so she probably is good to go for the next 3 hours. In need of a diaper change. I think the goal here is also if it gets closer to that next window, this card will change colors. So it'll become more of that terracotta color if she's in sore need of a nap, for example.
Yeah.
These counts probably less valuable, honestly, right? But might be helpful if the user's interested. The timeline kind of does the same thing. So you'll see like
I do like
3,
this timeline though.
yeah.
I like seeing it visually this way.
It's like 3 diaper changes, right, over time. Quick hit, like weekly trends review. I think it would be interesting to flesh this out a little bit more, but right now it's really not helpful to the user. And this is more just the raw events that were already logged. So that's the baby. And then on the me tab for the mom, I think what would be interesting is to flip these two.
Yeah.
So me first and then baby
mom,
second. Yeah. Just given like the focus of the app. Mood over the week could be really interesting for a mom to reflect on. I like the idea of putting that gratitude journal here.
Yeah, definitely.
Of like on the homepage, maybe there's a gratitude, pick a word of how you feel today. And then that gets tracked over time. And that'd be nice. Weekly insights is helpful too. I'm not so sure about the insights yet. It needs to be fleshed out a little bit more, right? But this also probably can get removed because this gets pulled into the home screen anyway. So
I like it in the averages, and I'd be interested to hear Alex's feedback in terms of like, are you looking for average components? Like, would this even, because I think I like seeing my averages when I look at like an Aura ring, but how does
like,
this really help?
Man, like this week my average was quite high for pain. Like, what's going on? The learn tab I think is nice. Oh shoot, it got removed. Interesting.
essentially these are the highlights for the week based on what week postpartum you
that's
are.
really cool. I like that, Christy.
Yeah, I think at first it was flipped. So the categories were up top and you can select the topic of interest. But they flipped it this time in this rendition, which I think is valuable, especially if it's relevant to the week you're in.
I think that makes more sense.
And then down below, you can
I would potentially make it a couple less, though. It feels a little overwhelming with this week, like 10 articles to read today.
So just opening one of these.
Yes, it looks good.
It's really short and sweet. Obviously, I would have more. Yeah, definitely worth digging into. I do like this try this, which is like a little bit of advice, right, as a mom of what to do in that moment. However, I think the other component that I really liked in your version had a what to be aware of, like what to look out for as a red flag, as opposed to just what to do, right? Yeah. So I think that's also one thing that Alex had mentioned
too.
Not sure where that goes. But yeah, you can save it.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, yeah.
The ask one needs a lot more love and attention. There's some pre-populated prompts here. I really like your history component. I don't know if this actually works. Oh, it does.
Working. There we go.
The formatting's odd, though. Yeah.
I think I do like the sections broken out in mine a little bit more because there are more, I think, like actionable insights.
Yeah.
But this does, like, one, it's working, which is great now. And then two, I mean, this is like great at a glance. Yeah. So I think that works a lot.
I think ask is really, I have mixed feelings in general about this type of interface, right? Because on one hand, as a mom, there's probably a lot of questions you might have, but at the same time, sometimes you don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
So like the pre-populated is great because it gets you, especially if it's tailored to the postpartum week, right? But that requires a lot more work on the content side. Okay, and then shifting over to the account or the profile. This is like kind of over the last few weeks, how has my mood evolved? And then I think down below, which takes a little bit of work, is kind of like, what are the milestones I need to address each week? Probably could use with just like a few weeks out, right? So things to be aware of that are coming up.
I love that. The recovery milestone at a glance. This is cool, Christy.
Yeah. But I would probably remove like maybe 6 on.
Or at least collapse it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have a full view, but I think it's, there's an element of too much.
Exactly. Too much info. But also want to be aware, like, hey, you should probably schedule your 6-week checkup, right? And the support resources. The other thing that I liked about yours was the reminder, like the active reminder for an appointment, right? Like, I like that. So rather than like requiring the mom to come into their profile and check this, they can, it's like kind of a
see it at a glance.
Active,
But I think it's a slippery slope because I think your today is very clean, where mine has a little too many. And so maybe thinking about ways, one, a user can have a configurable platform, or two, ways that it can be minimized and then allow it to be like collapsible. I think again we were looking a little bit at Aura Ring, and there is a lot of information there, but there's an amount of like you can click to open it. So but it just needs to be an option.
I'd be curious to hear like what Alex would want to prioritize here as a mom, right? Like I think we are doing a little too much across the board, but worth seeing what she feels would be most valuable for her in her context.
Again, I think the ask was the big thing. It's like being able to ask these things with your information, not having to enter your information each
over
time.
And over again, which could definitely be addressed with like the pre-populated prompts, right? And like some additional context. The other thing that I didn't have in here, which I should have added, is integration points. So that's one thing that's missing here, right? Like if I want to put in my Garmin or my Aura, or maybe connect to my health record, right? That could be interesting.
Cool. And so again, I think I really like the design flow of yours and the simplicity of yours. And I think Claude, I think did a better job that
from
way.
The start. Yeah, I would say.
And then mine needed a lot of work. Things did not function as expected. I'm curious to see what my back end actually looked like. So we were talking mostly about front end flow, but anyway.
Are these real? Nope. It's blocked. This one's real.
We're really, I think we're like 30% success rate right now for the articles. Anyway, this was fun exercise. So we'll get some feedback. Thanks for hanging with us, you guys, with our, again, we did it 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
That includes like brainstorming too.
And that includes full brainstorming.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for hanging. Build well.